Storm chasers captured these amazing images of twisters whipping through Iowa back in 2004. The same year, Steve and Cindy Willis recorded a storm many states away from Tornado Alley.
Yeah, it was very scary.
Yeah, it was.
At her mom's house in Northern Virginia.
My daughter called and says, "Mom, I just want to let you know that Caroline County's under a tornado watch." And we totally blew her off. We're like, whatever.
Just after all the hurricanes had come through, and it was a sunny day, but there were clouds.
So my mom and I are sitting on the back porch, and I start hearing this really strange sound. And it sounded like helicopter blades. You know, wah, 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 wah.
My wife went outside and started looking around.
My father comes out at that point, and he also hears the noise. So he walks to the end of the driveway so he can see around that last pine tree and starts screaming, "It's a tornado, get underneath the house."
They were yelling for me. I went outside, and the first thing I see is a tree flying over my head. So at that point, I knew something was horribly wrong.
Next thing you know, we're under the house. Steve has finally joined us and is holding the crawl space door so he could see out. And the tornado is coming up the driveway.
It was snapping trees coming down the driveway and just shooting them down the driveway like missiles.
This is what they saw when they came out moments later.
Oh, her car got wasted, man.
National Weather Service investigators told Steve and Cindy that not one, but two twisters flattened the garage, flipped a trailer, and shook up their lives.
What happened after that experience is every spring and summer, when tornado season would roll around, we would just feel anxious. You know, what if we had to relive a tornadic event again?
After 3 years of living in fear of how their family would survive another severe storm, Steve and Cindy installed this underground storm shelter. It is 10 feet by 6 feet and can hold up to 12 people.
We have a weather radio, so if the weather radio goes off and it's a warning, which we take serious now, we will immediately go to our shelter, and it is such peace of mind.
That feeling of security inspired the Willises to go into the business of safety. Steve, a licensed contractor, and Cindy, working in finance, now market, sell, and install storm shelters.
I guess the hope is, of course, you'll never need it, but you will. We've had ours in the ground for 4 years, and we've been in ours a number of times.
Business is up. Like storm shelter companies in the Midwest, the Willises saw an increase after spring twisters in unexpected places, like Gloucester County, Virginia.
Really, since Alabama, North Carolina, and Deltaville specifically, I think we fielded over 1,000 calls in 30 to 40 days.
Government plans for community storm shelters are also on the drawing board. About 50 are slated for southern Mississippi. Chilton County, Alabama has 5 and is adding 3. In Missouri, 25 schools are planning for shelters. And in Tulsa, Oklahoma, a school district is rebuilding a 150-person safe room.
I will acknowledge, that the shelters are not a small ticket purchase.
The smallest underground fiberglass shelter in the Willises shop costs about $7,000.
You cannot put a price tag on safety, and it is worth every penny we spent.
The shelter has given this husband and wife peace of mind, and it may have inspired the career goals of their 10-year-old son, Derek.
He has become quite fascinated with severe weather.
His dream is to become a meteorologist and a storm chaser, yeah.
He could soon be racing toward the storm, just as Mom and Dad take shelter away from it. Ephraim Graham, CBN News, Ruther Glen, Virginia.